Good afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you're listening. What's going on?
Not much. Welcome back to the
Player Worn Podcast. That's sweet, though. That's funny. That can be. Anyways, so back.
Yeah, welcome to episode 3 of the Player Worn Podcast.
Yep.
I'm your host, Jordan, and this is Samuel.
And things are crazy these days.
Right.
The world is blowing up, which leads me honestly into a first topic, which comes to mind, which someone had asked me. We've been getting some emails, some messages from people, and I appreciate that, of course. Discuss some comps. Comps is the thing with sales comps, and as I'm doing that, it's like it's sent to me magically, whatever. I've been getting abused lately because if a sales comp, okay, I'm going to explain this, break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a noob here. If y'all don't know,
this is the way I do things, and this is the way I would definitely recommend. First of all, if you're going to be buying or selling a significant amount or even a small amount of sports cards, but it's important, to not get taken advantage of, whatever, to be accurate with your buying or selling. Definitely have a card ladder is what I personally use. It is a monthly service or yearly service you do have to pay for. Now, they have a free version, but it's just trash. It doesn't even work. I don't get it. There's also other ones, but I prefer Card Ladder, and that's the one I would recommend. Now,
I'm surprised you still recommend them even after they tried to sue us for using their name.
I mean, it is what it is. They're owned by PSA, the holy whatever company that owns everything in sports cards. One of the two companies that is basically taking over everything. So we need to bow to master.
And the other one is?
Fanatics. Yeah, I'll get into that. A free way is eBay.
eBay Sold.
You can go to eBay Sold and do a little research to get the exact one. You want to put in whatever it's serial numbered to. It depends on how liquid or how often the card, if it's something that's sold frequently, you'll find more sales comps, of course. If it's something rarer, you might not find as many. So you go look that up, and what's just been killing me, though, is don't take this as church, all right? Because I can make an eBay listing right now, and you can buy it at whatever price we set it at.
And then
we've got a sales comp. You know what I'm saying? And so many people are beholden to these things as if it's not that easy to go make one.
Well, that's why I was asking you if that was what was going on with those new Topps boxes.
Okay, so great lead-in, because we're looking at the new Topps Chrome. Okay, so first of all, these were for sale on the Topps website. Topps Chrome Sapphire came out the other day. A lot of people were trying to buy it. A lot of people couldn't buy it because somehow, I don't know, it doesn't seem like anyone that I know in my extended circles of people, anybody got any. And then, of course, you see these guys, whatever it is, backdoor break-in or whatever.
Yeah. Let's. Can we pull that video up?
Okay. Where the guy's like, oh, we've got so much that you can make you sick. But then, so they had a rule on the Topps website. You could only get, first of all, 2 boxes was your max, right? At a G a piece, right? So $1,000 a piece, right? And so right now on eBay, you can find listings for them. And these are not just bogus listings. And when I say bogus, they're not just you and me making it up. Like I'm saying,
well, I mean, you don't know that. Maybe.
Well, but they're you're right. But maybe it's from reputable sellers.
Maybe there was a few that started that trend, and then other people were like,
"Good point, valid point." But this is when you need to think about the sales comps and use your noodle here, because use some common sense, people. And think about what you're doing. Look at the seller. One thing that I notice people never do when they're looking up sales comps is they look at the card, what it sold for. They do no research, because I will see cards often where, okay, you've got sales comps. There's multiple, let's say at $100. There's one at $30, the most recent one. Oh, now that card's a $30 card. Well, what you failed to do was, if you click on that card, you can see where it's damaged significantly. You know what I mean? Or there's a problem with it.
Right.
And people just overlook those sort of things. So just like use some common sense is the first thing I would say. Back to the Topps Chrome Sapphire. So right now, as far as listings go, like if we drop in on here and we pull up 20, 25, 26 Topps Chrome Sapphire boxes. Right. So let's do that and see what are some of the listings doing.
It was like 10 grand, right?
I mean, it's insane, man. I mean, these are boxes.
Are you doing sold, or are you doing?
I'm just pulling up listings right now. Right. You know, and this ties in with comps because you can pull up comps for box sales. You know what I mean? So the boxes right now, let's see what they're listed for. We've got one for $6,000, $6,100 best offer, and these are just listings right now. You can buy into, of course, breaks, $61.99. So it looks like 3 of them listed. So let's go see now what they have sold for. So now I'm going to click over here on my eBay. How am I going to do this? If you're new to this stuff, you in the features here, you can hit the filter button of the search and then go down here to show more. And then I go down to sold or completed items. I click on both, hit the search. Okay, so this is what they're actually selling for. As of today, 3,700 one sold for. If I go down quite a bit more, this is where it gets a little spicy, saucy, all the above. Because some of these are selling for major league cash. And some of these kind of, see, they've caused a clam traffic jam here because they're selling a break and they got the same name on it. So then it's like every single, and they're doing a player break. So let's. Neo Cards and Comics. Yeah, he published a really good video about this.
Because he talks about how he was on there to get a box.
Oh, yeah, a bunch of people were, yes.
They were all on there. Him and his friends
logged in. Everybody was trying to get them.
Nobody did. Nobody got them. And then whatnot.
Backyard, backdoor breaks.
They said they've got like almost infinite.
A sickening amount of these boxes. And they've already ripped what he was saying on there, hundreds of them already. Dude. And so this is what the boxes have been selling for on eBay. January 20. So the largest sale, someone on the 22nd paid $8,888. I mean, and
that was like the highest one.
That's one of the highest ones because you can't see what these people, they made an offer, 5,100, 4,400, 37, 35, 35.
Those are actual sales?
Yes.
Jeez.
These are, I mean, it's nuts, man.
Those are $1,000
boxes, which they were already getting jacked up. So
they probably got them for.
Here's something interesting, though, I did here is that there's only supposedly 10,000 printed. That's it.
Okay.
And
what is that compared to like runs of Panini or something?
See, and that's one of the things they keep it a mystery, kind of. How many here? Let's ask Chat GPT here because I'm curious to see how many boxes of Prism basketball for 24-25 did Panini print. Okay, let's see what happens here. Let's see what Chat GPT going to give me here. This should be interesting. See, Panini has never publicly disclosed how many. So there is a way you can break it down with some math, right? Because if there's numbered cards, you can figure out how many there are. I mean, it's an insane amount of boxes, though. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, if you do the math, think about it. Okay, so in like a box, you get so many numbered cards, and a lot of the cards are numbered to 299, but every card is numbered to 299. Right. So you got to figure that, you know what I'm saying? And there's a couple per box, but there's just so many different series and different colors and different inserts. I mean, the amount, even on Topps, this is one thing that I was looking at too, of the amount of different parallels and numbered parallels for these like Cooper Flag rookie cards. There's a tremendous amount. I mean, it's crazy how many different variations of the same card. They just change the color and then stamp it a number on it. And because there's the number to 25, there's the number to 200. So I mean, this rarity. Yeah, I mean, it's rarer than the average base card.
Right.
You know, but I don't know what's going on. This Topps Chrome Sapphire is nuts to me because if you do the math, there's only, now here's another thing that's weird with, I believe there's only like 32 cards because there's 8 packs in the box with 4 cards per pack. So that's 32 cards. So right off the jump, and these aren't all numbered cards now, right? So if you're paying the retail price, which is $1,000 divided by 32, whatever, you're paying $30 a card.
That's wild. So what was
they're not like thick cards or like jersey cards.
What was that card that you showed me earlier? That Topps card. What,
okay,
was that an older series? Or
the one that that's the Topps Chrome this year.
That is,
yeah, the one with the autograph that looked
like
dog stuff compared to the flawless Eamon Thompson that we were looking at, which it was absolutely gorgeous. We can put it up on. You know what I'm saying? This is a beautiful card right here. You can see the overlay and. Up next to this Cedric, it was a Cedric Coward rookie auto, sticker auto. I mean, I thought this was a premium product.
Hokey. They look hokey. They
look
I'm
like you, man.
They look like like the layout and everything of the cards is like the worst graphic design. Like it looks like what cards used to look like when I collected sports cards back when I was a kid. You know,
dude. Let's be real. And you know, I've held back a little bit here. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to do it. Dude, the new Topps product sucks ass. I'm going to say it. Like, I really hope that they got something up their sleeves because right now, I might have to, if I'm going to still keep messing with, I might have to go into unlicensed product for Panini.
Do you think that they're just starting off like this because they know they can? Because they
don't give a crap.
Because they got the license.
Yeah,
and they don't have any competition. So it's like, well, like let's start, and then when people start, if they, you know, they're sort of testing what they can get away with, right? And then when they see pushback and people like if they see the demand, then okay, let's keep pumping out this garbage.
Yeah.
But if they start seeing pushback, then okay, well let's go snipe some better.
If you're one of these executives and you just release a product for $1,000 and people are paying on the secondary market what they're paying, do you think you're doing something right or wrong? What you know?
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, and that's the unfortunate part.
I think they just think like these suckers.
I mean, probably, yeah, dude, 100%. I mean, and it's frustrating, man. It really is. And I don't understand why in the olden days we had all these different brands when we were kids or whatever. And like there was Fleer, there was this, there was Donruss, all these independent whatever brands that were printing and fair competition, right? It's a fair market. And then at some point, I believe it was in whatever in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, I'm not sure, but it became like one company got to hold the licenses, and then they're the ones who make it, and they've got basically a stranglehold on it, you know. And if you don't like it, well, what else are you gonna do? Go get the dumb Leaf card where he doesn't have a jersey, he's wearing a white jersey or whatever, and like that, it hurts, man.
It just seems like so anti-capitalist,
right?
Like, you know, it's like let's have
what happened to free market?
Exactly.
Yeah, competition and stuff. I mean, lawyers always win.
It seems like the NBA would do better in the long run, creating buzz and market and value, by not giving one company a license, especially Topps.
I mean, it's
so. Why did Panini lose their license? Like, what happened? Was there like a controversy or
I don't know why. What like was the thing where the NBA, NFL, and I believe the wrestling people all said, "Oh no, F you, Panini. We're all picking up like you're out of the sandbox. We're just going with Fanatics, aka Topps now." Right. I don't know what the tipping point was there that all these groups at the kind of similar time, I think that the contracts were just running out and somebody got in. I know that the Topps people, like they were saying, snaked some of the Panini employees.
Can you break it down for me and anyone else that's new here? So Fanatics,
yes,
they're a clothing company.
Yes, they are, and they make jerseys they make fan gear, like all that stuff.
They own Topps, correct?
Yes, they own. Is
there another parent company that owns Fanatics?
Fanatics is one. My understanding is that Fanatics is the big umbrella, and then under that umbrella, now they have their own gambling app. Fanatics, like gambling,
so maybe this is why expanding. The sports teams, like, they've got more. They're not just cards. Like, they've got their sports stuff, though. Right.
You know, cards has been their I guess one of their bigger acquisitions. You know, with Topps.
Dude, especially if they're into the gambling side of things.
Now, like they're pushing
they gotta have buku
bucks, major cash, dude. And that was I know that was a scuttlebutt for a while, is they were going to go public and do an IPO. I mean, look at this, what we have here. And this, I'm not one of these conspiracy theorist guys, but so now you have Fanatics company, they sell the cards to you, okay? Where do you buy the cards? Well, you can go on the Fanatics Live app and get into breaks or whatever. I don't see a lot of this product being sold on Whatnot compared to, except those backdoor guys, which that doesn't make any sense to me. They're selling on Whatnot. Well, it does, because they get no fees on Whatnot, which also is another thing where there's all these backdoor deals, backdoor break, that things that we're not privy to. You know what I mean? But and people, we have power. Speak with your wallets. But like,
what's the fees on Whatnot like?
The fees usually it comes out to on the average person, I would say 10 to 12% on a sale.
It's the same as eBay-ish.
eBay is a little bit more usually. Okay. eBay
13 or something.
Yeah, eBay I think Whatnot it's like 11 to 13, depending on how much you do. Like larger ticket items, you get a lesser, just like eBay. eBay, though, I've noticed there's a lot of little ticky-tack fees, and eBay's definitely more expensive, I would say, when I sell, because I sell on both. eBay is more expensive for sure. They charge me more BS fees, and now they want you to promote everything too, which then they take even more money out of it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what's up? Are there? I heard about like some scandals on Whatnot. Like, what's going down? That's like, what's the big?
I mean, I don't even know where to start there, man. There's been scandals on Whatnot and eBay since the apps have started, really. In fact, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to bring on, I've got a special guest coming on who was one of the first breakers on Whatnot. Nice. Years ago, like where it was only him and there was like a handful of guys. He's actually going to come on and talk about that. It's going to be really interesting. Future plug. It doesn't take much. We could start this show, apply you to be selling on Whatnot, and by the end of the show, we could have you on your phone selling on Whatnot. No problem.
Let's do it. Let's do my B&E.
Like, that would be like having a whole episode where let's get him signed up.
So here's my idea for my Whatnot account.
Okay, let's go.
Is that I do fake B&Es where like I fake break into somebody's house, like a friend's house or something, and I have different things like items that I'm going to try to auction off on Whatnot, like set up throughout the house. And I go through at night, like with the flashlight.
What?
And so I'll like go up and I'll find an item and be like, oh shit, like, you know, like we got a Rolex right here, and I'll be like, who wants it? You know, and I'll be like, $2. $2.
So like a live theft show.
Yeah. But it's going to be staged.
It's staged.
But it's
a
entertaining because it's hilarious.
No,
because
I get that.
Okay. You're like breaking into a house and just auctioning off stuff. If no one wants it, you just move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
like,
and pretending it's like, I think I had told you something like that.
I think that would be fire, dude.
You know, that would
go
be
off.
And have it show, hurry up and bid on these guys. I think they can hear me. They're coming after me.
Yeah. You have like alarms. You got to like turn off the alarm.
Dogs are barking.
It'd be like this whole like Home Alone, like B&E thing, like creeping through the house.
When you first started just dropping this, I was like, where in the hell is he going with this? But now I get it.
Genius.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
Okay. I can feel it. But anyway, so perfect Whatnot scammery. So like I said, we could get you on there. I think, so there's a lot of people that are either running breaks and like not shipping all the cards. the big thing for the longest time was people would do repack or mystery products, and it was completely rigged, especially with Pokemon. Like, I guess the way that the packs, people resealing packs, it became like a common thing to where I could look on Instagram and every day there would just be new videos people posting of people doing scams on Whatnot, to where it's just become kind of ridiculous. What else is funny about that? Speaking of going public, so my understanding and Whatnot going public. So now a Whatnot IPO, which is crazy to me. You're like, Whatnot is going public. And so they're like talking about how they got to clean up Whatnot. Boston Card Hunter, he's posted some pretty wild videos. I think there was one where a husband and wife get into a physical altercation, a lot of obscenity. It's pretty wild, some of the stuff, because there is no regulation on this. You know, it's like one of those things where it's somewhat self-regulated. I've seen people go off on rants on Whatnot and drop a bunch of just nonsense, you know, hateful speech and stuff, and people got them kicked off and get kicked off the platform. So that happens. I mean, there's a lot to clean up over there, and I just don't even know where you would start.
How would they
that's what's wild to me, because I'm going to tell you from a personal experience. I had seen someone who there was scamming, and I reported it to Whatnot, and I showed them like, hey, this is evidence of this. You know what they did?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And it was really like, damn. And I actually quit using Whatnot for a couple months because it made me so upset.
Yeah. So circle way back around, wheel it back to the comp.
So back to the sales comp. And that's a huge part of Whatnot, you know, because constantly people are looking up comps.
I've seen them in the comments on your 100%. Thing trying to tell you, oh, this is only worth blah, blah, blah.
100%. And now with the big thing on Whatnot, and I've noticed, especially in the single sales market, is people doing these 5-second auctions and these quick auctions that are just rapid fire, so you don't have time to check the comps. But you know these are probably bigger cards, but sometimes they're not. And so people are just bidding insane amounts of money and then getting stuck holding this bag, and they go look it up. Oh, I just paid $200 for this $8 card.
Can you actually like tell? Because it seems like the quality on the screens like not good enough to, or on the person's camera, like isn't good enough to see
100%,
like the actual quality of the card. Dude. And so it's like, if it's not graded, and you're just like, someone's ripping a pack or whatever, and then they're trying to bid it super fast, and you bid on it. Yeah. What's like, you get the card and it's in shit condition. What do you do?
Pro tip.
Yeah.
If a dude's got Whatnot, got lots of slabs that they're selling, and then for some reason they got some high-end raw cards, don't buy those. Yeah, I mean, unless they're sealed, like some Panini stuff comes by, you know, or like a sealed redemption, but you know, unless they're a reputable seller that you trust. Yeah. But yeah, man, Whatnot does allow you to return things, but you have to send them pictures, and it's a whole rigmarole, and then it takes a couple weeks too to get like your full money back. They have to receive the product. So you do have recourse. Okay. And you also, here's another thing about that. eBay, by the way, everything you buy, even if the seller says does not accept returns, you can return it. I think a lot of people don't know that, because like a lot of sellers will sell you cards or whatever, not just cards, and they'll be jacked up, and they didn't list it like that.
I bought stuff off eBay, like synthesizers and things, music gear that said no returns, and then I got it, and it was like, had like on it or whatever it was, you know, like all like stuck in the keys or whatever it was, you know. Bleep out, whatever. But you know, it's like, it's a mystery substance all over the thing, like down in the cracks of the knobs,
and then eBay,
you just like send them pictures, and you're just like, look, this is not what I just bid on.
It's not as described.
And and then usually they fight you on it, and then eventually you get a return label and can send it back.
I mean, eBay, there was a huge shift in eBay, and I want to say it was about 3 or so years ago when they made transactions with Asia very easy. Because for the longest time, the Asian card market, which there's a big basketball card market in Asia, it was too expensive. So you didn't buy cards from there. But then all of a sudden now shipping, rather than being $36-$40 for a card, $9.99 or less even. So that totally changed the whole landscape of
that's
sports
really interesting
cards.
because I noticed on eBay a different thing with like starting to see these flood-ins of gear, like DJ gear and stuff. From Japan, and it would be like a lower price, so you'd be like, oh, like
but it's the
that
shipping.
item's this price, but then it's coming from Japan, and the shipping would be higher. But I guess that's because it's like a heavier piece of gear and not like a card or something.
Yeah, I mean, with cards though, it's really changed the market because like. If you go on eBay like any night and you look at a lot of the auctions, especially during like prime time auctions, which is like 5 to 8 p.m. or 5 to even like right in there, that's the prime time for sports cards. A lot of these mega sellers that are running hundreds of like in the, like popular stuff right now, whatever flavor of the week cards, the majority of them are from China. Right. It's wild. Wow. And has it messed with the card comp market? For sure, because a lot of these guys shill their own auctions. Like you'll see it and you look at the comp and it's the same seller selling the same card every week for weeks. So you know what I mean?
So here's the question.
And eBay doesn't enforce anything either.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay, I've got two questions. One relating more to that is there problems where people get a card and like where there's shady buyers where you send them a card and then they already like, let's say they have that card, but it's like got, the corners are all bashed up and then they would
switch it out and send you this.
Yeah, and they send you back another one.
Yeah,
but I mean, if they're numbered, then
serial numbered. Yes, right. Exactly. So serial number. Helps. But one of the things and I just saw this is people are AI making fake damaged pictures of the cards now and then showing that to eBay and then I mean it's just the level of scammery, buy stuff from people you like, do your homework. If it seems too good to be true, it might just be too good to be true, that's a common thing as well. But so that is a problem. Like, I personally have not seen that, but I hear about it regularly.
So
what was the next one?
Part two, and this is totally unrelated, but kind of related to the China production. So these cards are being produced in China?
No.
Oh, they're not.
So no.
They're in the U.S.
Yeah, good question.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, they're produced by Panini.
But I thought Panini was like an Italian company or something. Right.
All their printing, though, I believe it all comes out of Texas.
Okay.
And that's now Topps. Yeah, Topps does as well.
That makes way more sense. Yes. That they would do it stateside so that they can get them all signed and get the jerseys installed and all
exactly.
Of that. Okay.
And that's what a lot of people think, like, oh, wow, because you're buying cards from Asia, they're counterfeit or these are counterfeit cards. I personally have bought a lot of cards from overseas, and in my experience, I've seen that happen a handful of times. So there are, barriers set up to protect this, and if you use a service like PayPal, credit cards, they're gonna have your back on those sort of things.
Are they getting everything's done over here in the US? Like, are they?
Yes.
Like the packaging.
Yes, all the packaging. Yeah. They
probably because they don't want counterfeit shit.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. So they're sealing the package and then shipping it over there. And it's really popular, actually. I think it's even more popular there. It's surpassed like the United States for like basketball cards and stuff. It's really popular.
So do you sell cards to people over in China?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
eBay, you can set what if you just want people in the U.S. to buy it, or
you can do that. But
right?
Now they have it set. They handle it all. Right. Global distribution. One thing though that eBay has started is their authenticity department. Okay, now I've had major problems with them. So, like for instance, I had this during the finals last year. I had this Tyrese Halliburton PSA 10 RPA National Treasures numbered to 49. At the time, it was selling for around $2,000, right? Okay. So someone from China bought it from me on eBay, right? I send it into authenticity. I don't hear anything. I get my money, it takes a couple days, blah, blah, blah. About 2 weeks later, they yanked the money out of my account and they're like, your card didn't pass authenticity. And I'm like, what the heck? What do you mean? There's no way. And they're like, well, on the slab, it had this tiny little crack. And I was like, well, did you ask the buyer if they care about that? No, we automatically just cancel the sale and rescind everything. And I'm like, and so the buyer, I reach out to the buyer because they're like, where's my card? And I tell them what happened. And they're like, I don't care. That's a cosmetic thing. I don't care. I want the card. So I go to eBay and I had multiple conversations with them about this. And they were like, yeah, sorry, we don't give you that option. The buyer, we have to sit. And I'm like, oh my God. So anyways, long story long, but I get the card back. The gentleman was like, you know what? I don't care. Sell it to me direct. So eBay saved me a lot of money.
Right.
Because I didn't end up paying the fees. I sold it to him through PayPal Goods and Services.
Yeah.
Dude, it saved me about $300, honestly.
Did they,
at the end of the day.
Did the eBay authenticity department or whatever, does that end up dinging you and costing you money when they have to send it back to you and cancel the sale?
Great question. So I believe it can, yes, if you have stuff that is not as described in the picture, but in this situation, they did not ding me or anything. It was a big to-do. Like, it really was. Like, I had people calling me about it because it was, it was a couple grand.
And was that here in the authenticity department?
Yes.
It's like
So the authenticity department, here you go. The authenticity department here this is how all this stuff is connected, is PSA, the grading company. We're getting into a bad place. I feel like as a collector and as someone, you can buy your cards from Fanatics where they print them. They own the printing factory. You can buy them on their breakers, have them break them for you. Okay, sell them. You can sell them then on their platform, right. Their Fanatics Live or Fanatics auction every Sunday. And then you can get, the only thing that they don't have in that equation right now is the grading, but who knows what's going to happen next. Okay. Every grading company has been devalued to nothing compared to PSA. I mean, so you're pretty much like, why in the world would I grade anywhere else?
And a lot of people have like major issues with PSA too right now, right?
100%, man. PSA has they've moved the goalpost, and that's what really has upset me recently is they've just made there's no rhyme or reason to some of these reasons why they've gotten more strict on grading.
Right, like cards that would have been
subjective.
A 10 are all coming back as a 9, and
100%.
And like they will come back as we've watched videos where they're
totally.
Like, testing them at these card shows with every different.
Yes.
Rating. What are they called?
Graders.
Yeah. They're testing them with all the different companies,
grading options,
and they'll all be like the same across all these companies that did not have any contact with each other.
Correct.
And then PSA is like a whole point lower.
It's wild, man. It just depends on what it is, But I could show you SGC 7s that I turned into PSA 10s. I could show you PSA 7s that turned into SGC 10s. I've got documentation of all this, which I will put together. I want to make a coffee table book.
That would be cool.
Different grades are a regular thing because this is a subjective thing by a human being that looks at a card very quickly because they're grading millions of them a month, okay? And human beings make mistakes. Human beings have bad days. And it seems like more often than not, all these graders are having bad days lately. It seems like there's a lot more bad days than good ones. And it's really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I definitely know people are... I've personally seen a lot of people who are no longer grading cards anymore. They're taking a break from it.
Right.
I've tried to push through, but it's become pretty tough these days. It really has, just because, if I'm not going to mark everything up and charge people more than the price that I'm paying for it, I'm losing money because everybody sees their comp and they want it 20% below that comp. Right. How do you make money there?
Well, it seems, right now we're dealing with like all markets being this extra level of volatility.
Yeah.
And it's like with cards, there's so many different variables that are affecting the variability. And it's like at some point it's just going to be too much. And
then you're relying on people selling things on eBay, you could easily make a fake listing while we're sitting here.
Yeah.
And then you're valuing not just that one card, but think about that whole market cap of all the cards. That's a huge amount. That could be a significant amount of money. Right. And it's dude, use some common sense.
So speaking of scammers and volatility in markets and whatnot, can I touch on a story that's like not card related?
Please,
that just
baby,
happened?
Please, lighten me up. Make me smile.
So
I'm hurting.
I sent you a link the other day about Claudebot, and you just replied like WTF, right? Because you're like, I don't know why you're sending this to me.
Yes.
But it's kind of just because I turned you on to you were kind of late in the game to
stop that. You don't turn me on.
to
go on. Yes.
to ChatGPT.
I do love the ChatGPT.
Yeah, but like you were like didn't know about it until I was like, dude, I
wasn't heavy into it. Now I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of about that. Where remember we were talking about ChatGPT, and I was telling you about Claude.
Yeah.
And how
like
I was
butler.
That's
what I referred to it as.
I was going through like all my old comics. I don't know if I mentioned this in the first episode.
I think you did.
Yeah,
like
but
your
I
old collectibles.
had switched to Claude because I was like paying $20 a month for ChatGPT Pro.
Right.
And it like cut me off when I was uploading all these photos. I could only do like 5 photos at a time, and it would like it'd be like, you've reached your limit for the night.
Yep.
And I was on a roll.
Busted.
It was like 11 or 12 at night, and I was on a roll. So I just like was like, well, someone told me about some little young kid like told me that Claude was way better. So I downloaded it right there and then.
Yeah.
That I could upload like 10 or 20 different pics at a time, and it was way better at like doing the research side of it. Of like
you're saying that. Yeah. I remember.
So this guy just developed this like open source, I think it's on GitHub, AI version of Claude.
Okay.
That's like I don't know the word. I don't know if decentralized is the right word, but it'll run
open source,
but it'll run on just like your computer.
Huh.
And it's like an agent.
Okay.
So you can run it on. It runs really well on like Mac Minis and stuff.
Okay.
So as soon as this thing came out, the buzz hit, and within like a few days, like Mac Minis were like selling out.
Really?
Yeah, because everyone was buying them just to run this free version of Claude. It was basically like a open source version of Claude that you.
Why? Because it runs really well, or something, or where does the Mac Mini come into the equation?
So it's an agent. So you'd set it up with your programs like your email and whatever, and you could just like text your computer or whatever to say, okay, check eBay for this, or do this, write this email to so and so.
Okay.
And it'll do things for you that like Claude can't do or ChatGPT can't do.
Okay.
Because that's more for like researching things.
Gotcha.
Or creating things, but it's not like an agent.
Okay. It's not like your personal butler.
So this thing's like your personal butler, right?
Yes.
And it can actually do things.
Cool.
And so the thing I sent you was hella funny because it was just showing how this guy gave Claudebot like its access to its credit card.
Oh, right. So, that's right. Yes.
And so he was like, it was making decisions for him, like buying some domain that it was like for like some thousands of dollars. That it was like, Claudebot, why did you spend like $3,000 on a domain? And it's like, this was a high price domain that will make you a good business, and and basically like started. So it starts
running his life,
dude.
Basically.
Yeah, it was making like really bad money decisions, saying that it was like a good decision that was going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, well, who tells it what to do?
I haven't researched it too much, but the thing that happened today, I think today or like yesterday, which is insane. And this is the part that gets into the volatility of the market is with like crypto and things like that is, so the guy that created it Even though it was spelled, it was like CLAW.
So they just changed
like
messed up the word.
Like clause. It wasn't.
I mean, no, that's the same thing, right?
So, anyways, they told him cease and desist.
Okay.
So instead of fighting it in court, he's cool and he's just like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna rename it, right?
Okay.
So he goes on the GitHub and he makes a new name for his accounts, right? Because he had like a Instagram
and it was like Claudebot,
and he had like an X and it was Claudebot.
Oh wow!
And so he changed it. He was like, I'm gonna change it to Moltbot, like a I don't know if it was something about like a lobster like molting its shell.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he's like, okay, whatever. It becomes better.
It's changing.
More powerful,
yeah, we're
it's
molting.
Transforming.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was gonna name it Moltbot.
Okay.
But it took 10 seconds for the name to transfer to Moltbot. In that 10 seconds, these hackers, scammers, grabbed his handles for Instagram and X. I think it was both of those.
Load.
And he didn't even realize that it happened, but they snagged those handles. They set up like AI things that were waiting like this to pounce on those names.
Gosh.
In the 10 seconds that name was like disconnected from that account, they swooped the accounts. And then they had already developed.
So they wrote a code.
They had already developed like a cash, like Claudebot coin, right? Like a fake, like a crypto coin.
What is the world coming?
That they had already developed. That then they started pushing through those handles.
Right, so people thought it was the Claude.
It was actual Claudebot, which
and you send them cryptocurrency, right?
Well, no, I mean, yeah. So it showed up on Coinbase or whatever, not Coinbase, but whatever those
other rip-off, whatever.
Pump.fun. So all these people started buying it, and it got up to like I can't remember how many million, like hundreds of millions or something, and it was basically like a pump and dump, and then as soon as like. The next day or whatever, the guy who created Claudebot saw it and was like, hey, just so you guys know, I would never make a meme coin. Like this has nothing to do with Claudebot. And then the price tanked. And so it was like in a matter of like hours, like these scammers made like millions and millions and millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars off of this scam that happened in 10 seconds.
What in the world, man?
Wild.
I don't even know what to say to that.
That's just like the level of where technology is getting to. Like they're getting
it's
so
out of
advanced.
Control, man. And we could sit here. There's a lot of people that sit and they're negative and they bitch and moan, but they're on the sidelines. And that's what I do find amusing a lot of times because I do listen to a lot of other sports card stuff and they're screaming like this is, but they're not even involved in it really because they're not collecting the modern product. And it's like, I think that those people, it's like never going to be good enough for them. You know what I mean? Because they just want something to complain about. We're on the front lines here, and I'm bummed about
you're going to be that guy singing at Tops.
I'm just bummed, man. I'm really bummed that things are going this way right now because the new rookie class of cards, there's a huge, I don't have these cards to sell to my customers. I'm not involved in that. And I know, so football, they haven't switched the licensing yet. So Panini is still, my understanding is they are still, but it's on the last
run or
right.
Whatever series.
And so I'm interested to see what happens when that goes. Because there's a lot of people that just collect football. There's a lot of people that just collect basketball, and those two worlds kind of stay in their own lanes. But when we're all kind of thrown into this bucket of, okay, here's your Topps products now, man, I don't know, but it's disappointing at this point. And you know what? I hope that in 6 months I'm sitting here, I go, Jordan, you know what? Topps, they really turned it around, man. I love these cards. They look great. This is ABC, everything that I was looking for. Do I think that's going to happen? The probability of that, I would say, is pretty low. And that it is what it is. Am I going to sit here and cry about it every day? No. But I'm going to have to figure something else out.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, like you're doing everyone, you're doing other fellow collectors, fans, Tops. You're doing Tops a favor by critiquing their lines of cards, because really it's like, if people speak out about it, instead of like riding it, instead of riding it, as people speak out on it, then that's only going to make them be pushed to have a better product. Yeah. And that's what we all want.
And we're alienated, and that's fine. You know what? I'm alienating myself from a Fanatics sponsorship at this point. That's fine. Don't make shit product. That's what I have to say about that. You know, I'd rather that's fine.
And if you start making good product, we're here.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And so it's not just like, oh, big companies, screw them, you know, it's like, dude, make good stuff, man. You guys have had time. You've been sitting on the sidelines. You've been watching this for years. You've been, you know, it's time for you to shine. And what's happening? Not what I expect.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer, man. Aesthetics wise, no. Cost wise, look what's happening, man. I mean, like, you can't even acquire the stuff, and they're getting sued. Did you see that other lawsuit that Topps is? Because so Topps has got another lawsuit right now because evidently when they printed the boxes of Topps Chrome, they printed that some parallel was in the packs, and it's not. And so there's like a class action laws for misleading advertising against them, which, I mean, dude, right out the gate, how do you miss stuff like that too, guy? Like,
so is this driving up
the Panini price?
Is Panini prices driving up, or is it because is there still unopened boxes of Panini?
You can find stuff, yeah.
Just people sitting on it.
Yeah, people have.
Are you noticing prices of those like going for higher prices on?
You know, as far as
they're becoming more and more rare. Correct?
So I mean, I hang out in the singles arena. I don't buy usually boxes or cases or unopened packs. Right. So I haven't personally witnessed that pricing going out of control or something. I would assume, you know, but hey, what do I know? What I have seen in singles market right now, you know, it's strong. I would have to say that. It kind of depends on which market you look at. If you're looking at like the high end like auctions every Sunday on Fanatics Collect, you'll see record prices every week of cards that are just out of control, man. You know, I think I had talked about this a little bit, but I followed this Stephen Curry card for a couple months. This 2022 Gold Prism Stephen Curry card that went from comp sales of 3,000 to 20,000, and then finally 40-something thousand on Golden Auction, all within the matter of months. Okay, these are all verified sales with sales comps. Rationality, folks. That's your comp answer to the comp situation. Yeah. Use your effing brain. I mean, come on. That's it. Yeah. Use your brain. I mean, yes, these are tools. I mean, I see it way too often. I deal with it all the time, and it drives me up a wall. But then I do come across people that are rational. In fact, a lot of people are. You know what I mean? You know what? I get it. Because the pricing model that we're always coming in lower, what does that do to the value of cards? If we're always getting 20% below the last comp, what?
I mean, eventually
stuff just becomes worthless, right? What's the point? And it's so funny, like on eBay. eBay is always just such, first of all, the boss talk. Love the boss talk. Hey, boss. Which, if you know what I'm talking about, you know. But, you know, I constantly am like, come on, guy. Like, educating people, like, with these low ball crazy offers that they send me. That's not how you open a conversation. If you want something, don't message someone. If I got $1,000 card in their sales comps in that, don't message me, hey, $600. Not a good way to open a conversation. But constantly it happens, man. And I do take the role of, you know what? I'm going to educate this youth and they're probably just like, you booming idiot, but hey, that's fine. I'll take that. Sometimes it gets through. It really does. Cause I've had people's, and then other times I've gotten, the F you, and then I also get the, hey, you know what? I'll just block you and run along. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's still, I've got the card in my hand, and it's terrible, and you don't want to pay money for it, yet you're accosting me, trying to buy it from me. So, use rational thought. That's all. That's what it is. Tops, I mean, you see all this from afar. What are your thoughts on all of this? I mean, you just coming into this and seeing what, you see what I have, what I do.
I'm looking at other markets.
Yeah. How do you compare it?
Okay, from a collector, which and a hoarder.
True.
Hey, I'm at a point in my life where I'm dealing with the fallout from being a hoarder and a collector, and I go through phases where I get really into things and collect something.
It's the American way.
And
consume.
And I at this point in my life, I'm looking at the fact that I've got a lot of stuff. And I don't really. It's a lot of stuff that's just sitting that I'm like, I don't need this anymore. Mm-hmm. And when I look at trying to sell that stuff, it looks like a pain in the ass. And I'm like, and I look at like the market. I'll like browse like Facebook Marketplace. And I don't know, at least where we're living, I'm sure if we were in a city, it would be different. But where we're living in Southern Oregon,
it's hard.
I see the same stuff that's been on there for like freaking like a year. And it's just...
don't you think that's because sometimes, like, I know myself, I put stuff on those things, and then I sell it to somebody, and I don't go back and take it off. Maybe
it's that.
I'm guilty of that.
My thought was, and I never thought about that, but my thought was that it's more like... that everyone is pinched right now, and but then it's like kind of gives me hope, like when you're talking about like these card prices like skyrocketing. I'm like,
they're nuts.
It seems like there's certain places that are getting hit with the inflation and a recession or whatever you want to call it, depression, a lot more than other areas, and maybe we're in one of those areas. I don't know, but anyways, I get really nervous because I've bought a lot of stuff on eBay, and I realized how easy it was for me as a buyer to just like return something if I didn't like it. I'd just be like, oh, there's a little scratch here.
On eBay, you mean?
On eBay, or whatever. Anything, Poshmark, Mercari, like offer up before they stopped shipping, whatever it was. And I'd just be like, if it wasn't up to whatever, for whatever reason, I realized it was they always sided with the buyer. And I started realizing there's a few things that I sold. I sold a few things that I had a couple issues with as a seller, and I think it's just gotten kind of worse where like there's a lot of buyers out there that are scammers, like and so I don't really like, I've got all this stuff that I'm like, I don't want to get scammed and like send somebody my nice, like, I don't know, I've got two of these RX3 Pioneer RX3 DJ controllers.
Look at me.
Like, I don't. Well, no, but they were for my business.
Your business,
and I want one of them now because I don't really need to. Yeah. And it's like, dude, no one locally is going to buy it.
Yeah.
And then I think about shipping something like that on eBay, and it's like,
Yeah, no, it's hard to protect yourself in these situations.
So as far as cards, like, so I've been paying. I've got a lot of friends that are really into silver right now, and just like,
really silver is any.
So are you silver? You haven't been paying attention to the silver market right now?
I mean,
it's wild.
What am I?
Okay,
is anyone else out there into silver? Please let me know in the comments or something.
Well, the silver market,
like silverware.
Yeah, I mean, if it's silver, if it's like 90%, 100% silver.
Okay.
But the silver market is like skyrocketing, right? It's higher than it's ever been. It got up to like $125 an ounce the other day, which
wasn't it like $20 like a couple months ago an ounce or something, or it wasn't a lot?
It wasn't $20, but it was like it was like even when it hit like like 70 and 80, people were like,
wow,
what?
It's popping off.
Yeah. And so, people aren't sure.
So that affects cards that have the silver bars on them and stuff. I wonder if that's a reason they've been going up even more.
Definitely not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because with like collectors' coins and stuff, it's like the value of the coin holds more than, usually it's higher than the value of the silver.
Yes.
But there is a point where like if the price of silver gets high enough, sometimes it could
buy the card and melt it.
It could beat out the price of the coin being at that price.
The card. Yeah, the card, you just cut it out if you've got a Ben Simmons or somebody of that nature.
Dude, I actually, so it's funny, when a long time ago, in the first episode, I had touched on this speculator market that happened in the like 80s and 90s, right, where it was stamps, where they were just nobody, there was no internet or barely any internet, no, everyone was getting into collecting because they had seen all the values of these older cards, that there was a very limited amount of them, they'd seen the prices skyrocket, and they were like, if we buy stamps now, then in 50 years they'll be worth like a shitload of money. They didn't realize that the post offices around the world were printing just like an insane endless amount of these.
That's what they did with sports cards too,
and they did it with everything, like
everything,
comic books, sports cards,
everything. Your future has been commodified in your nostalgia.
So my dad's collection of stamps was like worthless. He thought it was worth a bunch of money.
That's what you're saying.
But
I don't mean to laugh.
But so my friend, I don't know, like some friend of mine a long time ago, like his mom would buy him these books of like these first day of issue postcards,
the stamps
with these gold leaf stamps, right? 24 karat gold stamps, right? And so I had these books. He just had given to me, and they all said like, to Ian, love grandma on them, on every single card. Like that was where it printed on the thing. And he gave them all to me, and I was like, dude, maybe these are worth some money.
Did he come back on you and try to
No. But I like looked into it, and like I was like they weren't worth anything, like nothing. These big binders full
they used
of all
to put
these
gold in like Goldschlager, like alcohol.
No, this is like that level of amount. And so I started looking into Reddit threads, and like they were like people were talking about like, is it worth can we get the gold off of these stamps?
Oh my goodness!
If we soak them and like pull the gold off, and like, dude, gold is at like I saved all of them. I cut them. I pulled them all off of the things just in case. I don't know, man. But if I figure out an easy way to, I don't know. Gotta do some hardcore chemicals.
Some acetone wash or something. Oh man.
But I mean, I don't know. What gold just hit like?
How much is it?
It was over $5. It was
Are
like
you serious?
5,200.
Oh my goodness! I didn't realize it was that high. Where am I at, dude? Man? I'm losing my.
Dude. We're in Southern Oregon. Like my buddy, every day he's like, dude, let's go gold mining. Like let's go. He's like, I know this spot in our little shitty
creek. What are we
creek.
doing here right
he's like
now?
in Bear Creek. He's like,
can we wrap this up?
He's like, they used to mine in Bear Creek here, which is like if you don't live here, you don't know, but it's like a super shitty creek that like a lot of like sewage runs into. You don't want to go in there.
You're not gonna find the kind of gold you're looking for.
They've like mined it in certain areres, and so you can pull like ounces out.
What?
I mean, over time, right? Because you're just getting the flex, but like enough of those flex makes up like some bank, and at that price, it's worth your time.
I mean, that's insane. The amount, I didn't realize gold had gone to that level. I've got
That's your new pastime, buddy.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's go gold panning.
We have another mutual friend who last year he was like, dude, I'm buying. He bought all these what are they called? Like the gold
like at Costco, like gold.
No. Well, no. Yeah, he bought the stuff to mine, but he bought
gold panning. Or wait,
their licenses to use like the places. Like what are they called? They're called
Claim. Yes. Okay. Mining claim.
I don't know why. Yeah. So he bought all these. He bought like some.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they were like collective mining claims, where like they were like, we're only gonna like sell like these sites that you are legally allowed to go pan in, and that was like he's like, I'm just gonna start going out like panning.
So he did that.
I think he did like once or twice, and he was like invited me to come with him. But
no kidding.
Like, yeah. I was like, that's kind of cool, actually. Like, as far as like, dude, you get out in nature, you just hang out by a
that
creek,
is fun. Yeah,
and you just get to like sit there and like
sift
try to
through
find
some
gold.
water, some water. I mean,
it seems so wholesome.
That is wholesome. Yeah, no, that's a good time.
It seems so American.
Oh man, and that sounds. Speaking of American, America, I hope you're watching this, and I think this is a good time to wrap it up and ask for, your thoughts, your comments, your feedback. I'm not going to say smash the like button, but if you could push that little thumbs up, that would be rad. Follow our podcast. I care, and I'd like to hear about what you care about in the comments, all that stuff. Thank you to the people that reached out to us. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on YouTube, Instagram, everything. We're doing this at Player Worn Podcast. Player Worn Podcast. All one word, of course. No spaces, nothing. Player Worn Podcast. We're doing things. We got interviews coming up. We got good stuff. We're trying to make this happen.
We might even start doing some giveaways, right?
I think so. I think so. And I got some promo coming up. There's some card shows coming up that we're going to be promoting. A lot of good things in the works. Stick with us. We got good things coming. We're gonna do this. We're out here. We are out here. It's official. We are out here. That's what it is. What else you got for me?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking to the audience.
No.
I mean, I think that's a great place to end. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us and sticking through this. And we'll see y'all on the next episode.
Fight the power. Speak with your wallets. That's it.